right, we're back. We're back. And we're sticking with it. We're not giving up. We're staying on task here. Staying on task. All right. So this was just about identifying an apex man. This is not going to last but more than a couple minutes. So what is an apex man? Apex men are righteous men. What is righteousness? Righteousness is authenticity. It's integrity. It's virtue. It is true virtue, intrinsic virtue. It's rational selfishness. It's geopolitical Christianity. There's a lot of words that I'm using here, but basically an apex man is a man that lives based on his relationship with the creator of all life. This is a man that is connected to the source being itself and cultivates that relationship, makes that relationship key, first and foremost. So how to identify if you're an apex man, an apex male, a geopolitical Christian man, is to first identify, or excuse me, embrace your identity as an empowered son of the Most High. So there are core practices. There are about 5 of them. I like the numbers 3 and 5 in the sense that they are easy to remember. Like 5 numbers are easy to remember, 3 numbers are easy to remember. So apex masculine, it means that you are at the very top of your game as you. There is only one you in the world. And as long as that you is not clouded by all the bullshit from the church, the lies from society, the psyops that you get from the education system or the indoctrination system, and you're able to move forward, that is what it is. It's like you living the life that you were created to live, okay? That's one. Number 2 is agency. As an apex male, you have agency. You own that agency. You don't try to apologize for that. There's masculine privilege. Don't buy into that shit. That's let everybody else play that game. That doesn't have anything to do with reality. Agency is what we're all aiming for. And if you have agency and then you outsource it to someone else, you deserve all the negativity that comes from that. So agency is something that you get to have. What is agency? That's the ability to exercise personal choice and freedom in your life. Autonomy. It means you are able to live an independent life. You're maintaining an independence in your faith and in your actions and in your relationship with God. Most importantly, your relationship with God. The way that, there are people that are afraid about autonomy because they feel like, well, if I go and do my own thing and I'm away from the body of believers, then I'm going to become a crazy man in the woods howling at the moon. Not necessarily and not at all. Why? Because there are these things called outcomes, effects. So you have cause and effect, you have outcomes. And so if what you're doing is not getting you the outcomes you want, you have to pivot a little bit. I've had to do that 100 million times. And so you can be autonomous and still find better results than the mindless, Meyer, and get to a very high place and get very far. And then, what distinguishes the 1% from the 99%? The 99% wants what the 1% has. And the 1% didn't get there by being like the 99%. They got there by being the 1%. So autonomy is one of the best ways to get there. Being able to be independent financially, spiritually, emotionally, sexually. Autonomy is everything for the apex male. And what a lot of men have done is outsource their sexual sovereignty to women, and that destroys your autonomy. You don't have, a woman says, oh, well, I didn't like what you said, so you're sleeping on the couch tonight. I'm like, yeah, okay, good. I don't want to sleep next to your smelly butt anyway. I mean, you don't say that. That's childish. But I mean, in your mind, you're thinking that. And you can also be like, oh, I'm sleeping on the couch tonight? I guess I'm curling Shirley. I guess I'm calling Shirley. Sally or whatever the hell your mistress's name is, right? That's sexual autonomy. And that gives you that doesn't force, but it compels the woman in your life to respect you. And if you have integrity, you're going to realize that she's at a disadvantage. And you're going to say, you know what, let me make sure that I live with integrity here. Yes, she cannot use sex as a tool to chastise me. But I'm not going to lord over her and tell her what to do and all that stuff because, first of all, it's never our place as men to tell adult women what to do. It never is. A woman should give that over to you. She should say to you, I want help on this. I need your authority on this. And instead of you going and bombarding into her life and telling her what to do, never do that. A woman has to give you that. And so that's again a divine female sovereignty. But I'm not talking to females here. I'm talking to men. Um, so autonomy is essential, and if you have that, you are an apex man because no woman can hold sex over your head and then manipulate you with it. That was one of the things I noticed too, man. I had this mistress at one point in my, I was in a sexless marriage, and at some point, I talked to my ex at the time. Was like, look, I'm gonna get somebody else in this game, and eventually did. It took me a couple of years, but I finally did. And there was a point where I could tell she was trying to this side woman. Um, I could tell she was trying to get me addicted to sex with her, and it wasn't intentional. It was not like she was being intentional. It was like she was trying to pull me into a sexual entanglement with her, and then once I was there with her and felt like she was the all that I had, then she could start pulling strings and pulling rank on me, and I was just like, yeah, no, that doesn't work. Okay. I went years without sex in a marriage. Like, not like years, actually years. Actually years. 2 years at one point. 2 solid years. Now, it was like once a year prior to that, but I went 2 years solidly without it. And I was, oh, then actually, no, it was like 4 years after that. But I was having sex with other people at that time, so it didn't matter. But, it's like you should always have your autonomy as an apex male, as a son of God, and that allows you to have the freedom and the peace of mind to live peacefully. There are a lot of men that think having a woman on the side is wrong, and that's because they've been castrated. I mean, they've had their balls cut off since the time they were a little boy, because they were living with mommy, which is a severe disturbance to children at a certain age. But they were living with mommy, and mommy felt bad and angry at all the men in the world who did her dirty. Instead of dealing with the men straight up like a strong woman does, she went and just poured all of her hatred and anger and resentment into her son. And he became her little boyfriend and supported her in that way. And so he grows up and says, well, it's wrong to cheat on mommy. Well, if cheating on mommy, not cheating, I hate cheating, but I'm saying just having a mistress allows you to pay the bills, be a happy daddy, allow your wife to just be what she is and not get in her face about it, have an affair. Have an affair. Okay? I mean, you're an adult man. You don't have to take my advice, and it is what it is. It's for adults, and do whatever you need to do, but autonomy is important. If you are dependent upon your wife or on your girlfriend for sexual expression and things like that, and you need her for that, you are dead. You're not an apex man. You are stuck. You are stuck. You're in trouble. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be honest with you. Men who are like extremely wealthy and extremely powerful, they don't care so much about the women around them as far as their needs and emotions. They don't care if they're smart. They don't, because it's not their problem. These are adult women. They can take care of themselves. And so if you're one of those guys and you have that much money, and a woman comes to you and says, well, I need you to feel this way, and blah, 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 you can be like, okay, there's like 8 other women that could take your place today, right now. I can make one text, 3 letters, uh, DTF, and I can never see you again. Like, this is, so that's sexual autonomy. And when you have that, you can love better as a man. Men have been taught to love like females. And like, if I give you my body, then I'm giving you my heart. That's not how it works for men. We can give our body to 1,000 women and literally forget the face of every single one. We can forget like even what she sounds like. So that can be done. I don't recommend that at all. It's not really good for your health. But men have the potential to do that, the ability to. Very few women do. The design of our brains and genitalia is different. And so the connections between male genitalia and the male brain is very different than the connection between the female genitalia and female brain. And so there are different ways that we can do that. So like I put a lot of energy into this sexual autonomy, but you have to have that as a man. You must maintain your independence, and that's going to allow you to have a better faith, better actions, better outcomes. And so keep that in mind. And then the last two are accountability and authority. Accountability, women don't have accountability. Okay, and they shouldn't. Excuse me, because society doesn't expect them to. I mean, that's just evolution. If if you're carried around everywhere in life and walking hurts for you, then you're going to let people carry you around. If you can be carried around for your entire life, you're going to do that. That's what most women have done with accountability. And often, the more attractive a woman is, the less her accountability until you get to apex level females. They are forced to be accountable because they engage with apex level men. And if you want to be an apex man, you have to have accountability first and foremost. You can't blame your mother, you can't blame the man, you can't blame society, you can't blame anybody for any of your problems. You have to take responsibility for all of it, accountability for all of it. So if you go out there and take some risk and you get burned in the process, be accountable. If you go out there and you put out, content like I'm putting out, people say nasty things in the comment section below, be accountable. You got to own that. And and know that you're taking a risk, and but you're gonna get there. I mean, the guys that take the biggest risk get the biggest reward. So don't worry about it. But yeah, be accountable. If you want an apex female that's going to be accountable as well, you've got to be an apex male. You will never get an accountable female if you're not an apex man that's accountable. Okay. And then finally, authority. Authority is living with divine authority and confidence. You are a child of the Most High. You're a son of the Most High. If you're a son of the Most High, you need to act like it. You cannot expect women or society or anybody to recognize your authority if you're not living by that authority on your own. Oh, my, that's it. No. All right. If you're not living by that authority on your own. So living with divine authority and confidence is essential. That is key. So those are the 5 ways that you identify an apex male or a geopolitical Christian man. Apex masculinity, agency, autonomy, accountability, authority. Your apex masculinity, I already explained all these things. So anyway, watch the full video if you want to see the full video. I've gone long enough on this. 12 minutes, that's good enough. All right. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Make sure that if this serves you, you share it with people that you think this will serve as well. There are so many men that can do so much better. And I'm going to tell you, look, the autonomy thing is going to trigger a lot of men that have vaginas instead of, balls. And the reason is they get triggered, these vaginal men get triggered is because they've been effeminized and they've been castrated. And then they notice it. When I say, as a man, if you're a father and you don't have sexual autonomy, your children are in danger. Your children are in danger. If you're okay with that, that's you, that's your children. I'm just message from God on high. I'm telling you right now, your children are in danger. If you have sexual autonomy, your wife can do and say whatever she wants and tell you to sleep on the couch, whatever way she wants, and you can go over to Sally, and then you two can work it out. And then you can come back, like my great grandfather used to come back, calm as a cucumber. He used to come back calm as a cucumber. We don't know what he was doing, but I suspect he had a little Gretchen or a Sally Mae or I don't know, a Mariana that he used to go see, and she probably used to empty his tank, and then he'd come back calm and happy and filled with the Spirit of the Lord. So make sure you have that sexual autonomy. And if you're triggered by that, look downstairs. You might have a vagina. All right. That's all I got to say about that.